If I could describe Paris Regional Medical Center in one word, I would say gratifying.
Opportunity.
Caring. Adventure.
Home.
Community.
My name is Dana Hogue. I'm a medical technologist at Paris Regional Medical Center, and I've been here for 50 years. I was a new graduate from the Medical Technology School in Dallas, and McQuestion had a brand new hospital in a brand new location, and I just kind of wanted to come home to work at home for a while. This was my hometown. So I thought I would only be here a few years, but of course it got to be a lot longer than that. Well, my word I think would be progress, because I see a lot of progress, especially over all the years, but even the last few, I think there's been a lot of progress.
I've been at Paris Regional Medical Center for 10 years as a radiology supervisor. A particular day that stands out to me is I was working in CT and a patient came through the emergency department that had been involved in a motor vehicle accident. She was a young girl and she had got ejected out of the vehicle and hit a tree, and it had paralyzed her from the waist down. I had went to get her for her CAT scans, her CTs, and of course she was traumatized. She was emotional, crying. Her family hadn't got there yet. So I took her to CT to get her CAT scans. When I went in the room to get her, she was feeling alone and scared. So I was able to calm her down by reassuring her that everything was going to be okay. And she wanted to hold my hand. So I held her hand all the way down to CT. It was about the only thing that was going to calm her down. I ended up getting somebody else to do the CT so I could stay out there with her during the exam. We scanned her. I was able to keep her calm down and holding her hand all the way back to the ER. Well, when we got back to the ER, her family was there, so that really stands out. I mean, we feel emotion too. We're not just at work doing our job. I mean, we feel your emotion. I mean, we care. You want to do what's best for the person, whether it be doing your job and doing their exam or being there on an emotional level for them. That's what healthcare is about. It's whatever you can do to make the situation better for that person.
You know, hope is an important thing here at the hospital, and so I get to meet people that I never would meet otherwise. And I have a lot of good memories because of Paris Regional. If I could describe Paris Regional in one word, it would be necessary.
Fulfilling.
Friendly.
Pride. Teamwork.
Caring.
Golden.
I had a former boss. I used to work at a restaurant. It was the Hickory House, and he decided that he wanted me to come to work for him because he said, "You're so pleasant." And so I signed on at Paris Regional 15 years ago and still here today. I met a lady one day in the cafeteria. She had came in and she had a family member upstairs, and she had lost all of her family except for her husband, and he was upstairs with cancer. And when she came in, she was so sad and stuff, and I went over to her and I asked her, I said, "How you doing?" She said, I'm just barely making it. And I went over to talk to her to give her a word of encouragement, because that's what she really did need at that time. And I'll never forget her as long as I live. She was the last one standing. I love people, and I love helping people. Anybody, if I can give a helping hand to anybody, I'm willing to do it.
I believe that working at PRMC has provided a family. It's more than just coming to work and doing a job. It is being able to greet people and talk to people and problem solve, and I think that it's strengthened my ability to to not only be a better nurse, but to be a better human. If I could describe Paris Regional Medical Center in one word, I would use evolving.
Dedicated.
Caring. Amazing.
Community.
Team.
Security. Friendship.
I love my job because I feel like I make a difference with our patients.
I was originally recruited by St. Joseph Hospital in the 1984, to fulfill the shortage of nurses. So they hired people from all over the world, and I was one of the Filipino nurses that came here, 1984. When I was an emergency room nurse, they brought in a little 2-year-old Down syndrome baby. It was a sudden infant death syndrome. So we tried to resuscitate the patient, and without success. And so Dr. Clark, who was the pediatrician on call that day, gave the baby to the grandmother who was the caregiver for this baby, and she started rocking the baby and cried unceasingly. And then that's when I lost my cool and I started crying with the grandmother. So Dr. Clark, because he saw me that I was so distraught about the baby, started hugging me and made me feel better. Not only that, he also called me at home at later that night, 6 o'clock, and see if I was doing okay. And that was really caring that he did that for me, and I felt better after that. That was the most memorable because it was my first kid that I had to resuscitate, and it was not successful. And just seeing the grandmother take care of the baby, love her, and it was just a horrible feeling. Not only he had to take care of the baby, the grandmother, as well as me. Had to take care of me as well because I was emotionally distraught. So naturally, I wasn't going to be able to function all day if he didn't calm me down. But I did okay afterwards. We just work always like a family, just help each other most of the time. Don't have time to argue and fuss at each other because we are so busy.
I would say my favorite part of the job is I take care of a lot of people that's from the local areas. You know, a lot of people I take care of, and I don't realize it until later on that they actually are my neighbors and people that live next to me, you know, people I see at Walmart and things around that nature. I'd say the most reason I work at this hospital is due to the fact that most people I work with here, I mean, we're real close people. I get along with everybody. All the employees are more like family.
I came to the hospital because the hospital work intrigued me and interested me, and it's been very interesting. I chose to stay because the camaraderie and the employees here are phenomenal. It's an amazing place to work, and we have the best of the best here.
5.5 years ago, I was welcomed with open arms into PRMC. I felt just like family from day one.
What I like about my job is the diversity of the people that I get to see, and also the diversity of the people that I get to work with. And we're all just one big dysfunctional but happy family.
If I were to say one word to describe PRMC, I would say family.
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 Family. Family. Paris Regional is a family to me.